Welcome back, everyone, to episode 6 of our modded Tyrion campaign for the High Elves. Last episode, we started our war against the Dark Elves. We dealt a pretty nasty blow to Count Noctilus and the Dread Fleet, but now we've got our naval convoy being attacked by Nurgle once again, so we're going to fight this one. We've got several Nurglings, which I don't think are going to be a huge issue, but we do have some Chaos Warriors and Rotflies, which can be pretty nasty, but let's go into it. Nurgle really doesn't like this this convoy, apparently. Another attack coming in. Mostly Nurglings, but one thing of Chaos Warriors of Nurgle and some Rotflies. Once again, led by Herald of Nurgle. He is a Deathcaster, so he does have Spirit Leech, which can be kind of nasty. And Nurgle, all of their units have Cloud of Flies, so they're really tough to kill in melee. So we're going to do our best to wipe out the more threatening units first, like these Chaos Warriors, if we can, and the Rotflies. We actually have the perfect units for this matchup. We have Treekin and Dryads, both who have magic attacks and physical resist, so they're going to do great. The physical resist is not going to matter so much against the Nurglings, but they really don't have the melee attack to get through the defensive of our guys too much. So Treekin are absolutely going to tank these guys. Rotflies, focusing down almost everything we have right now, but we did do a little bit of early damage on these Chaos Warriors, but they got a little bit too close for comfort, so we're going to try to hit them first. Prince ready for the onslaught. Treekin going ham-fisted into the Nurglings. That's a great matchup. Chaos Warriors over here fighting the Treekin as well. They don't have the armor piercing or anti-large to get through the Treekin's defenses, so they actually should do pretty well in this matchup. Dryads roasting the Nurglings, getting through them really quickly. Rotflies went down like pincushions. So now we're just trying to focus our missiles onto the more important units, primarily the Chaos Warriors of Nurgle. Yeah, man, Dryads are doing awesome. A little bit of friendly fire still, though. But breaks those Nurglings very quickly. Come over and help our Prince a little bit as he fights this Herald of Nurgle. Princes have never impressed me in combat. They have, like, on paper good stats, but they always take so much damage. But I'm trying to focus down the units that are a little bit easier for us to target, so we're not having to adjust our formation too bad. We tried to send these Lothern Seaguard up. Well, tried to get them to shoot these Chaos Warriors, but for some reason they actually tried to get really close, and that drew the Chaos Warriors in, which actually turned out to be not that bad, because all our guys will be able to shoot them a little bit more efficiently now, since their backs or sides will be turned to us. But on this flank, these Treekin holding back at 1.4 units of Nurglings without even a problem. They've taken, what, not even 1,000 damage yet? They're not even close to losing a model. They've got 25 kills, which is pretty amazing for Treekin, because they are not offensive units. Yeah, Chaos Warriors still trying to be kind of annoying, though. Looks like the AI can't decide exactly what they want to target, so half the unit is split here, half half on the Lothern Seaguard, but they go back and forth. Not terrible for us. We did focus down the Herald of Nurgle with some missiles, along with the Prince tying them up, so now it's basically just the last few melee units left. Most of the demonic units have crumbled. The Chaos Warriors are going to get it in the back. Not a knife in the back, but arrows. Still got a lot of damaged units. So I'm going to take the heal. Mage is back.
What do you require?
Let's get her across the channel so she can go and join Tyrion. We have Morathi showing up.
I await your command.
Our Sea Helm. Oh, I guess you can't move while you're in patrol stance, so you need at least 25 movement range to get there. So let's leave you in that. Then you should be able to make it to the Moon Shard next turn. Let's upgrade your fleet growth. Now, what can we get? We can get reserves. This reduces upkeep. That'll be really nice. And leadership for the army. This is all income stuff. Gives siege attacker. We can do this. This gives recruit rank for artillery, upkeep for artillery, and an ability. Well, let's see. This is extra movement range and reduced attrition. It is going to cost our growth. The extra movement range is nice, but I don't really care about the attrition. I think I'd actually prefer to wait and get up to tier 3. So let's do that. Our mage. I want to get Arcane Conduit. Let's get 1 point into Chain Lightning, because it's not a bad spell, depending on who we're fighting.
Ready to serve.
Okay, she could actually join Tyrion this turn, but we wouldn't have enough movement range to make an attack.
This insolence.
Protector of the Everqueen.
Which may not necessarily be a bad thing.
Your word is my command.
So... yeah, we'll wait 1 turn. I'm just going to... oh, come on, it merged the wrong one. I want to keep this guy. This guy's high level. Whatever. We'll just get rid of one of our archers.
Mage, the winds hearken to
So we
me.
definitely want access to magic in that. I guess you would have just barely enough movement range. And she's probably won't retreat. Yeah. Okay, do we want to rearrange any of our banners? Probably. The extra range, that could probably stay on some archers. Leadership we want on some of the spearmen and the spell resist against Morathi. What spells does she have access to? She has access to Doombolt. I guess this is her bound spell from her item. So she has Soul Blight and Melchos Mystifying Miasma, so that's good against infantry. Let's just do it on some of our spearmen. And map-wise... alright, pretty good choke battle if we force them in there, so let's do it. Morathi getting a little bit frisky for Tyrion. If you guys have read the end times, you'll know what I'm talking about. He is basically an Aryan reincarnated, so it kind of makes sense. But she's got a fairly dangerous army. Several Dark Shards, Shades, some Demonettes, an Assassin, who's at level 19. So if we can kill this guy, he will not come back. Just shy of immortality. But very, very dangerous units. We do not have a lot of front line in this army. We have some spearmen, but they can get shot to pieces. But we're bringing over our Silver Helms and Illyrian Reavers, try to find some nice juicy targets to get on the charge. These Shades go in and out of visibility, so it does actually cancel our charge order on them, but we're bringing over the Silver Helms, so we'll get on them. But Tyrion, not waiting for support, he's going to go after the Witch Elves, and our Noble doing the dirty on Morathi. He does have poison and very good stats, along with a fair amount of armor piercing. Morathi does not have very much armor, so he's going to be great. The Phoenix is going to team up on her. She does have regen, so we want to get her down as much as possible, and the extra fire damage from the Phoenix is going to do quite a bit extra at getting her down. Shades leave them open this time, so we're coming in for a massive charge, although we do get slowed down a little bit by the trees. But, oh, I guess not. Looks like our guys stopped just short after like 2 of them hit. There come the Illyrian Knights to come help. But Phoenix gonna go down along with their mage, trying to tie up some of these dark shards. Without the Phoenix, actually, Morathi managing to put up a little bit more of a fight, but a lot of focus fire coming down from the Dark Elves on the side of these spearmen. So they're getting the short end of the business on that. But Caradrian tying up some Demonettes for some Archer Fire, but Kena Assassin also putting some shots into our Noble. That's part of the reason he was taking so much damage. But he's going to do his best to try to kill her, if not chase her off. They have a lot of firepower, but we have basically just as much to trade up. So we're just going to annihilate their guys as soon as they get close. Cavalry doing very well over here. Lyrian Lancers came in for a charge against the Witch Elves and the Dread Spears as the Flamespire Phoenix broke their bracing, so they didn't get that charge defense. But we don't want to keep them there too long. Silver Helms with shields, taking out the Dark Shards, along with our Mage, who's on a chariot now. Let's get a little bit closer look with her. She's getting some nice charges in. Got our little driver with his whip. Let's see if we can get her to start using some magic too. Gradrian doing pretty well, but he's taking a fair amount of damage from the Witch Elves. They do have Witch Brew down and Murderous Prowess right now, so they can do a fair amount of damage, get the armor piercing through his 100 armor. But we finally notice the Shades after they pop up next to these Dark Shards, so we get both of them because they're stacked right on top of one another. So even with those shields blocking some of their shots, these guys are going to go down very quick. We just have so much firepower, but they did manage to basically almost annihilate a couple of our spearmen. But we've broken most of the Dark Elf army. Tyrion is putting the hurt on this assassin. He's got nothing on the area of Anarian. This guy's normally good at killing characters, but Tyrion has a massive ward save. Well, not a massive ward save, but he has a good mix of ward save, armor, physical resist, and missile resist to fight the assassin who goes down with a whimper. Silver Helms and Illyrian Knights with our Phoenix doing really, really well. Morathi did manage to escape, but her leaving the battlefield gives us the win. We actually did a really good job of running down their units and killing everything. Morathi barely escaped, even with the noble chasing her the entire time. But only 3 units of Dark Shards left. Some of our guys did take a lot of damage from Dark Shards, though. Oh, that's a fair amount of money. Although, let's take the Grandeur and the Execute Captives for the extra experience because I want to get the trait for Tyrion that reduces enemy leadership from doing that several times. Oh, we already have it. Okay, never mind. Now I know I don't need to do that anymore. Our Noble should be able to get his Griffin now. Oh, never mind. Rank 18. Almost there. Do we still want Valor of Ages? This gives you 5 more weapon strength normally and another 5% when fighting against evil factions. I think actually, like, how much armor does the Griffin have? Has 85 armor? Let's give more armor to start with, and we'll go melee defense. Gradrian, we're going to save your skills until you hit 10. Our Mage. Oh, we can do some of your unique skills now. This one just unlocks, so Quick-Witted gives you cooldown reductions. And later it reduces one's magic cost and miscast chance. And we get spell intensity right there. Let's do that. Or no, do we have... Okay, we have Arcane Conduit. Yeah, let's do that. Tyrion. We don't need controls the High Elves. Ambush defense chance might be useful if we have to face the Skaven. But our units are pretty expensive to recruit. We'll do this ambush defense chance just in case. And we're stuck out here, but we've reduced the corruption enough that we don't take attrition anymore. So that's okay.
Noble son of Ulthuan.
Okay. Then for the rest of our territory, Lotharn's got 6 turns left. You're still getting rid of corruption for 2 more turns, basically. Hey, that's about the best we can do right now. It's funny, I don't know if it's actually worth it for us to keep Tor Enlek and the Shrine of Cain. Because we can't build it up right now, because we don't have enough growth. Because the nasty climate. If we can get some other faction-wide bonuses to control, it might get to that point eventually. Ooh, we could make a non-aggression pact with Bretonnia.
We are here to listen.
What I really want is a
And
trade
if you
agreement, so
speak-
I'll wait until you're a little bit more positive relations, and then I'll worry about that afterwards.
Guardian of the Phoenix.
Our convoy. Want the extra... Oh, I guess healing doesn't matter until we can get the last point. So let's do red line skills. You have mostly archers. We don't need more of that right away, probably. Hunter. So it increases the encounters and more diverse, along with more loot. But more encounters is hard when this convoy is not very strong yet. Let's just do better sales, better scales, which increases our sell value of our cargo. Okay. I'm surprised these guys haven't been attacked by any of these rogue armies yet. That, like, always happens, even in regular campaigns. Okay. And grandeur, we don't have enough of. Influence, I'm going to save once we can get some heroes, because I want to get some good traits. I'm curious what these two guys are going to do, though. I wonder if they'll try to team up in Tyrion, or whether this guy's going to sell out. Oh, okay, they go after Tyrion. We would take a pick victory and lose a lot of stuff. Morathi's still back, which is annoying. Oh, she's anti-large. I forgot about that. That's why she was doing so well against the noble. Okay, it's the same map. Shouldn't be too bad. Man, Morathi's Cult of Pleasure cannot get enough of Tyrion. She is just coming at him left and right. Can't get enough of the Chad. But this time, the main force is led by a Supreme Sorceress. Fair amount of units, Dread Spears, lots of Dark Shards. She does have two Masters accompanying her, both of which are mounted on steeds. Over here we have some Dark Shards along with Shades, but we are sending the Noble over to take out Morathi as soon as she comes onto the battlefield, because we do not want to let her regen half her health back, so we got to deal with that immediately. Our mage trying to tease out this master, hopefully get him to chase a little bit. But if not, she's going to go over and try to help this noble, maybe throw down harmonic convergence to give him some extra stat boosts. But she's going to arrive first with a few units, but over here we also have another Supreme Sorceress coming in the back with some Demonettes. And some Dark Shards. Tyrion waiting for her. He's not gonna sit around and let her get into position. So we've got our Phoenix, along with our Lyrian Lancers and Silver Helms, ready to just charge them and annihilate them as soon as they're on the battlefield. The main army is waiting until the reinforcements come before they start moving forward. We have set up in this nice little spot that gives us some tree protection on this side, but it also gives us a nice little shooting gallery right there for Dark Elf units. Morathi coming back, already getting some health back, 5 HP a second almost. But our noble gonna try to put up a good fight. Does get the harmonic convergence down right there, raises his stats up to 72 and 81 respectively, and that makes short work of Morathi. We do not want to keep him around too long because these Dark Shards can do a lot of damage if we're not careful. But on the other front, Tyrion and the Silver Helms going after the Supreme Sorceress. Demonettes coming in right away. Lots of nasty armor piercing. So we just got to kill them immediately. Get a two-prong charge right there. And Tyrion's going to throw down his breath attack from Sunfang. Roast those Dark Shards. Doesn't get any kills with it, but damages them severely. The Phoenix is going to come down. Maybe terror out these guys. It's like they just barely escape it, but do get a chill wind on some of our Silver Helms. Their armor, fortunately, gonna hold up pretty well against that. Our noble going after the Shades, try to keep them occupied so they can't get their really, really damaging missiles off. But most of the Dark Elf force has started moving forward, going after the attack. We've set our formation up. Since some of our spearmen were damaged, we have supplemented our front line with some of our Loyalty Guard with shields. They'll still be able to shoot until they get to melee. But Caradrian is leading the defense over there. Our mage coming in for some charges on her chariot. Her stats are not very good, but on the charge she might do okay. But just trying to tie these guys up with the main force on that side decimated. We are bringing our cavalry around to round up these dark shards and put them in their place. But the Dark Elf unit's starting to get into range of all of our missiles. Dark Shards trying to get in position where they can get some nice shots off. Master coming after our Mage of Heavens. He is anti-large and armor piercing, so we can do lots of damage to her if we're not careful. But we did give the Shades over here a reprieve since our Noble was taking a little bit more damage and we didn't want to get caught by the other Master, so our Flamespire Phoenix going out to help. But these Loathing Seeker are taking some nasty shots from the Shades. A few casualties, but nice big Chain Lightning right there on top of some Dark Shards. Bad thing about Chain Lightning, though, is that you can't predict where it's going to go, so it's not useful in a lot of situations. Sometimes you can get pretty good value out of it, especially against higher model count factions like the Skaven. But Tyrion trying to shut down those Shades. Caradrian just tying up some units, but he does pull back to come help fight these Masters because he is anti-large. Very heavily armored. He's going to rock these guys' world if he gets a chance to get on top of them. Shades are trying to come over, so we're keeping the Phoenix on them. Cavalry decimating the last little units that came off. Just cleaning up the last little bits that are coming. But let's see if we can get a combat off right there. Combat Cast Endure, one of my favorite spells. Really, really interesting to watch too. Let's see it decimate them. They might get away just in time. Ooh, decimates one unit, nearly kills another, and does a little bit of damage to a third. Another Chain Lightning down. Chain Lightning is really great against lightly armored opponents, which Dark Shards don't have a great amount of armor, so it does do pretty good damage to them actually. It almost wipes out that unit. But we've got the Dark Elves on the back foot. Shades have been really annoying though, just going in and out of visibility because of their stock. So now that they're staying in range, we are going to try to focus them down as much as possible because they are really putting a hurt on the Loathing Seaguard. Supreme Sorceress trying to put up a good fight against our Spearman. Tyrion knows he doesn't even need to fight that, so he's going to try to chase off these units and get them to rout once and for all. Phoenix trying to get this Master before he comes back. One of Dark Shards on the back, so trying to make their way since they went around the long way. But our cavalry doing some nice cleanup. 86 kills, 82 on the Illyrian Reavers. But the MVP of this battle's probably got to be our mage. Actually, she did awesome. Let's find her. 257 kills, almost 2,400 value. Did some nice assist on her Noble 2, taking out Morathi. This time she did not escape. She went down like a punk. Master trying to get away. But we've routed the entire Dark Elf force. We will use the time to try to clean some of them up so we don't have to fight as many next time. Not too shabby. This Master did manage to live with it. Just a couple hundred HP, but we dealt with most of the army, at least most of the problematic units. This lady did manage to escape, but Morathi's good and gone. That did cost us a lot more Acer lives than I would have liked. So let's take... we're still in friendly territory. We'll heal. Let's take the money and the influence, because high elves are expensive, especially once you start getting to the higher building tiers. They start to cost a lot. But that's very good. This campaign is going very well on the battlefronts. What? You want a gift for 1,700? Heck no. This is why high elves are superior to wood elves. We're jerks, but not for unjust reasons. We'll make them sue for peace. I was like, oh, they're going to want to trade with us. No! That's what I was talking about with these rogue armies. Unfortunately, we can't deal with that. They've got mammoths and Chaos Frost Dragon and Armored Skin Wolves, so There's no point in fighting that one, unfortunately. At least I know where this guy will be. So I know that there's an army out there that wants to kill it. Because that's where he was, right here, I believe. Near Sartosa. So he got killed in this area. That's annoying. Oh, and then we have a Dreadfleet army coming. Torsai. You got... Oh, it's always the Slanesh one. Why can't you do the control over here so we can actually build this up? Okay, the Invocation of Isha. That might be good to use now. Immune to attrition plus casualty replenishment and negative corruption. I don't know. You're going to help us continue to attack Dark Elves. Let's have you take the Moon Shard. Or just not have enough movement range like every single time. Gosh, I hate that. I might take Tyrion down to kill this army off for good. It's pretty heavily damaged. This army can handle itself, most likely. It doesn't have any heroes yet, but that's okay. We'll take the Forest of Arnheim, but let's level up first. I keep getting more armor for our noble Tyrion Draftmaster.
I will.
Only problem is that coming up this way is going to have the... Ooh, there's the Wood Elves too. I didn't expect them right away. Okay, it's not the sisters, but the... This army does have Isha. Sorry, Ariel, who's the avatar of Isha. And a Glade Captain, who's anti-large. If we have to fight them, we'll be okay. We can auto-resolve this one. I'm going to loot and occupy it, though, to get that extra replenishment.
Champion of the Ever Queen.
We want... Ooh, actually, we can choose your other specialty. So we could make you an Arcane Priest, and that way you become more of a support character. You give a ward save and leadership to nearby units. You also imbue magic attacks and vigor whenever you cast a spell. That's really good. Battle Scholar, research rate and Winds of Magic Reserve. You gain spell mastery. Oh, that's cool. Gain spell mastery when enemies cast spells. Then for a Arcane Duelist, you get spell resist for yourself and nearby units when you cast. You increase cooldowns and miscast chance for enemy spellcasters. I really like this one, how it's a support. Because this gives growth too. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm not going to do the Invocation of Isha right away. Shrine of Remembrance. Let's build up Tor Anrock eventually. And we need to get an army here. We have enough growth to build up Torfino. Let's do that. Eagle Gate and Phoenix Gate don't have enough growth for anything. Okay, let's build the army at Engirio, because that's a port city, so they can attack that. I doubt they'll try to attack Lothern. So let's get... We could get another Sea Helm. Oh, we can get Alistair. Let's do that. Because we have some cool buffs for White Lions, too. Alright, Engirio does not have a garrison. So it needs... Let's get some Lothern Sea Rangers so we can see them in action. And we'll get one of each. We'll get some Lothern Sea Rangers and Lothern Sea Guard. We could global recruit some units, but very expensive. 730 for Spearman is a lot. What can we get for Regiments of Renown first? I know we have quite a few available. Okay, to fight the undead, we'll want fire attacks most likely, and some speed. So let's get the Avengers of Tor Anrock. Chariots are cool. Plus these guys have sundering armor and anti-large missiles, along with magic missiles. The Lions of Kurnos. These guys are anti-large. Lions of Krace. Shadow Warriors. Let's get Regar's Pride because we need some speed to shut down enemy missile units. The Signs of Mathlon are good for their ward save. Let's get Heralds of the Wind too. I think that should be enough to hold them off with what we're recruiting. Yeah, because we can't really afford a whole lot quite yet. Oh, we need to get a new convoy too. The problem is, actually, wait. The first turn that convoys start, they're not at sea, right? I think they start on land first. We have this guy too. He's got a bunch of units too. If they want to attack him, that's fine. It's good experience for him. Okay, well we know now there's a rogue army in this area, which Baragvar has been taken as well, so it doesn't have the dwarfs anymore. Let's go to the Empire. Let's go to Altdorf. This guy's got a pretty good army. Oh, let me actually see your army. Oh, if you're convoy, we could spend some influence and give you more cargo. I don't want to do that yet, so we're not going to request that. Okay, you start on land first. Okay, that's fine.
At your service.
So if they want to attack Lorthern with you there, so be it.
All set. What news?
Let's just double check diplomacy. Any new trade agreements? Nope. We're getting pretty close on grandeur to having enough to claim another seat. I think outside of the Council of Nobles, though, it'll probably cost around 200, so we may need to save up a little bit more.
Sons of Elf-One, what brings you here?
Join war against Nakari. Oh, Nakari's actually losing, which makes sense when he's facing Alariel and Eltharion. Okay, they decide to actually attack you. We could give you an auto-resolve, and you'd lose 4 of your spearmen. What are we facing? We have a lot of ships company. They're actually alright in melee. Yeah, let's fight this one too. I think we can do this one without too many losses. Dark Elves deciding to get a little bit greedy coming after our Seahelm and his army of ships company. I always call them ships company, but technically they're sea company. But in the tabletop, as part of the Storm of Chaos, they were called ships company. So these guys are pretty similar to Lothian Sea Guard. They don't have they don't have the spears and anti-large, but they have shields, and they're kind of a hybrid unit, although they don't have as much armor, but they still have pretty decent stats, so they'll do okay in melee. But really you want to use up as much of their ammunition early as you can. So we've got basically a whole army full of them, along with some spearmen, along with the Sentinels of the Glittering Tower, Regiment of Renown, Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. These guys on paper are supposed to be really good, but it seems like their missiles, at least the multi-shot round ones, have a hard time hitting sometimes. The single-shot rounds do a little bit better. But our Harbingers of Kurnos going in just to try to spot some of these units. Ooh, I'm going to throw down 2 of their Black Arc abilities. That's good to know. Luckily we got out all of our models. But the enemy master coming in, he is mounted on a steed. He is anti-large armor piercing, so he's actually going to be able to kill these guys fairly easily with every attack. So we would just want to get him out of the way as soon as possible, so we're going to bring him back into range of all of our missile units, along with our Seahelm. Seahelm is anti-large, so he's going to be pretty good in this fight against this guy. But he's managing to get a few kills. There's the first volley from our Glittering Tower, Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. Like I said, the multi-shot rounds don't seem to do quite as much damage as I would have liked. Or maybe they just have a hard time hitting compared to the regular version. But I don't know. We'll use them more throughout the campaign and see what happens. Our Harbingers of Kurnos did get a little bit of friendly fire there from some of our archers, trying to kill this master. Ooh, he's kind of going after them with a vengeance. Ooh, but here comes the Black Arc abilities. We managed to dodge them partially, but it's pretty close so far. This one, I don't think we may get out of range in time. Yeah. But Master's pretty much gone down. He has 500 hit points left, so now we're going to keep the Harbingers of Kurnos on him, keep him busy. He will probably quit very early because of that. Yeah, I don't know what it is about these guys. They just, they're not quite hitting the spot. No pun intended, but it worked out. So we're just trying to hit some of the Dread Spears. For the 3 armies coming in, well, I guess 2, plus a small garrison. It is mostly Dread Spears, but there's a lot of Dark Shards, which can be very, very dangerous. Their armor-piercing missiles, although shorter range, do lots of damage. So we're going to focus them once they start to get into range. But our Harbingers of Kurnos trying to kill off the Master. He's got maybe 2 hits left from them. And then we'll use their speed and massive charge bonus to get on some of these guys in the back. Did alright there, dodging that one. Did manage to hit some of our C Company, but they're starting to get some nice shots off now. Although the enemy Dark Shards are getting into range. See if we're able to dodge that one all the way. Took one little volley. It did manage to kill about 10 guys, but Dread Spears coming over to the flank. We have 5 Spearmen holding up the front line, along with our Sea Helm, who does have access to Glittering Scales, and he can actually get hold of the line for one of his skill points. But Burning Head, actually, pretty decent Burning Head there on our back line for some of our ship's company. Lothar Sea Guard kind of up in the front because they're a little bit more durable, so if they decide to come around and get some flanking attacks, we will put them into melee if we have to, like over on this spot. That's kind of why I use that formation, Spears in front and Lothar Sea Guard on the flank, so they can go into melee if they have to. These Spearmen and Dread Spears are going to have a little duel. Our guys are a little bit damaged, but their melee stats are quite a bit stronger on the defensive end, so they will hold up pretty good. But we have the Clarions of Kurnos going down from our Harbingers of Kurnos. It is a ability that gives perfect vigor and speed map-wide, which is really, really awesome. They're going to come in for a nice charge here. Boom. But we don't want to stay too long because the Dread Spears are anti-Lars. These guys are already pretty hurt. Got shot a little bit by those Dark Shards with shields, so not a great matchup if we stay there too long. We don't want to lose too many more models. But we dealt with most of the Dark Shards of the initial force. Some coming back, but the main contingent, led by the Supreme Sorceress of the Lore of Dark Magic, coming in. A lot of Dark Shards once again. See if our Equal Claw Bolt Thrower can get some better shots. So like that one hit a fair amount, but it doesn't look like it's doing too much damage. It was a little bit better there. But we will switch it over to single target shots. Try to get some damage on this enemy sorceress. But, oh, I should have switched to manual firing mode so we could aim at some. Although I don't remember if Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers can do that. I know lots of other artillery like cannons can, but I'm not sure the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower can since it has the multi-shot ammunition. But our Sea Helm getting some missiles off. He also has access to the Hunting Spear ability, which is a pretty good magic missile. It's not super long range like the Arrows of Kurnos, but it does alright. We set up our defensive line, led by our Spearmen, who are just trying to keep the Dark Shards back far enough to where they can't shoot into our missiles. That's what's important. Because if they have to shoot into our Spearmen, they're risking hitting their own swords and Dread Spears as well, so not a terrible strategy for us. Harbingers of Kurnos chasing off some units, but they're going to come back for the last little leg of this battle. And despite having, I've said it a lot, but it's just very disappointing. They're such a cool looking unit that they just don't seem to hit quite right. So I don't know if that's something wrong with the mod, but now it's getting some single target damage. If they hit, they actually do pretty good on this mode. Let's see if we can get a nice shot in. Come on. There we go. Yeah. They're no match for C Company. These guys don't have the anti-Lars that Lothing Seaguard do, but they still have the missile units. The missiles are what's important in that matchup. You do not have the trait yet for negative leadership, so let's have you execute the Druki. I'm curious if there's another Wood Elf army. Because there's the one that's right behind Tyrion. It's hard to see where we are on the campaign map. But... okay, so they do bring out the other army with the sisters. Okay, good to know. What a twist of fate, though. Like, not even, like, pun intended. Okay, our other convoy. You would have to fight the Empire, but they've got a significantly stronger army. So that's something that may be different about the naval convoys, is that the encounters are generally harder, but they must be kind of based on what your army looks like, too. We would gain cargo. I really want this prince to get leveled up as quickly as possible. So we will fight this one at the beginning of next episode, in episode 7. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm Warhammer. Have a great day.